Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Summit 3. This is the beginning of the European Division. We're here with the pre-qualifier, where we have a nice little single-elim bracket. The top two teams will move on to the second phase of the qualifier, where then, of course, teams will qualify for the main event itself. Oh boy, is it exciting. It's finally here. I'm Zyori, joined today again by Kotlguy. Dakota, 2 days in a row, my man. How's it going?
It's going good. I'm feeling amped right now, ready for some Dota. Should be a doozy. You got Dota 2 Lounge odds. Currently, no surprise, it's an 80% plus favoritism for Hellraisers. So an expected stomp, if you will, but it is Dota. A game where upsets can happen, especially in this new day and age of this new patch and rubber band action. We'll have to find out. 4 anchors, Hellraisers. Who's going to be moving on? It's a single elimination. This is your time to perform.
Yeah, absolutely. And sorry about that, folks. I didn't have my mute co-casters on. You heard Dakota twice. Let me just turn up my my game volume a little bit here. Make sure our levels are all good. I had to do a quick setup change before we got started. So I think we're finally ready to start talking about these heroes. So what do we have here? 4ASC versus the Hellraisers. The Anchors take out Axe and the Vengeful Spirit. The Hellraisers, well, they ban out the Troll and that Bat Rider. We've seen him make a showing a few times, even in that first picking phase, so certainly a warranted ban. That opens up for the Sea Captains to get themselves the Enigma. Hellraisers get the Shadow Fiend Shen, and there's that Sniper coming out. So strong opening on both sides of the coin. I think one thing's for sure here, Dakota. Hellraisers, they're going to be getting a mech at some point this game.
Yeah, pretty safe to say. And if you want to kind of fight back to that extra bit of sustain, I would suggest maybe, just maybe, an Ancient Apparition would be something to consider. But it is nice. 4 anchors were able to snag up a sniper after the Shadow Fiend was grabbed on Hellraisers, and he is more proficient in the mid lane setup against Shadow Fiend, so it will take some proper assistance from the Hellraiser side to make sure they don't have their Shadow Fiend in too much of a disadvantage there. Have some early roamage. That's what Chen's there for. Sniper better have his I was gonna say better have his eyes out, but if you does he have eyes? His things there. I don't know what the hell is his problem.
His spectacles.
He's got cataracts. His aim hacking eye goggles, whatever they are.
It's night vision, dude. Come on. It's dark half the time.
Make sure he just keeps his eyes peeled rather for any sort of incoming early pressure. Hellraisers now still have a great option. If they want, they can get this Clockwork grab. He is beautiful against the likes of Sniper. He's even good against Enigma because that hookshot does fly on through regardless of BKB or not. Gets him right into the mix. Gap closers should be of the utmost importance here for Hellraisers.
Always a good way to deal with that Sniper. Anybody who can close that gap, move quick. I always think of Centaur as just a good hero against Sniper in general. The Stampede, the nature, the Blink Stomp, things that Sniper really doesn't want to deal with if he can avoid it. But Spirit Breaker,
Brad.
Yeah, he's one of those heroes that's been banned out. No surprise there. But hey, talking about gap closers, there's a good old-fashioned classic, the Clockwork.
Yeah, I love it. This is good coffee, so I'm feeling it right now. Clockwork grabbed up. Hellraiser's feeling pretty fresh about it. We need some frontliners then for 4 anchors. If you're going to be dealing with the Clockwork, kind of waiting in the Raptors, the Trapeze artist, he's going to just dash on in there. You got to have someone that can soak it up in the front. Help out the Sniper. You got to get 4 staff holders. Not really a 4 staff holder, but they're going to get Dazzle. He does have the sustain, the survivability to help out, waiting in the back lines in case the jump is there in a Sniper. He's got the Shallow Grave. Minus armor. You need that. You're on Dire's side. Roche is a possibility. Can't hate on Dazzle too much, but this is going to feel like a pretty passive start for 4 anchors. You got Enigma, who's got to be working in the jungle, and Dazzle now, who's going to be on babysitter duty. So Hellraisers can kind of go more aggressive if they want. They get Skywrath Mage.
Yeah, and there you have it. With the Axe first ban, the Dazzle pick feels a little more safe, and Skywrath, a good, not quite counter pick, but a good strike back from the Hellraisers. Silences in general tend to bode pretty well against the Dazzle, and if you can save that Ancient Seal for the Shadow Priest, though he may need to be saving it for the Enigma. You don't have too much else in the way of interrupt if he manages to get off a Black Hole. Sure, you've got the hook shot that'll go through BKB. That's a nice tool to utilize, but oftentimes easier said than done when there's all sorts of creeps in the way, heroes moving about. I don't know, Hellraisers, they seem to be a step ahead with most of these picks. They grab a Sniper, and HR's right there with a Clockwork. 4ASC think they're cute with this Dazzle, and then HR's right there with an Ancient Apparition. We'll see what the 4 anchors and the Sea Captain have in store here for their 4th pick.
I wager if they want a frontliner, they want more minus armor, Bristleback could be something they consider. The synergy would work out pretty nicely, and of course the attention of Hellraisers hopefully would be diverted to someone big and fat like a Bristle as opposed to more on this sniper pick. So I think a Bristle would suit pretty nicely here for 4 anchors.
Yeah, I can see that. They need a big boy, that's for sure.
They do need a big boy. A big girthy one.
Who else? Who are the other big boys that have been picked up recently that go well with sniper? The Bristle definitely, I think, makes the most sense, but that does put a lot of eggs in their physical basket. I think Ghost Scepters might become value town at that point.
The thing is also they've already, unless they do some sort of switch, you know, Enigma jungle, it's going to be dual lanes kind of a setup, and whoever their safe lane farmer will be, I'm wagering that sniper is going to be the mid laner, could have a bit of trouble with only one help nearby of Dazzle, and that means their off laner definitely needs to be able to survive because he already has a tall order going against the Skywrath Mage, probably one of the best bouncers of the safe lane, one of the best zoners you can ask for. So they got to be able to take a lot of punishment and get what they want.
Whoa, okay.
Good morning, Zyori. Good morning, Dota World.
You know what's funny? I was actually thinking Pudge in my head, and I was thinking, it's too early. Yeah, sure. Those are my sleeping remnants. Just like, who are the other big boys? And as soon as I said big boys, of course, Pudge is the first one that comes to mind. And wow, so we've seen the offlane Pudge kind of on the rise. We've seen a couple of teams try it. And I think some of it is because of the little Jenkins post we saw. That was it a blog? Was it a guide? Whatever it was. Seems like some folks have taken it to heart. The offlane Pudge feels pretty legit, and we'll see if 4ASC have what it takes to make it happen here in this game 1.
I mean, you're coming into this match less than 20% odds favorite. I mean, how much are you influenced to maybe do something like this? Pull out that ace up your sleeve and be like, you know what? Here's my trap card. This is going to catch you. You know, you're going to feel a little bit out of your comfort zone. And that's exactly, I mean, Summit 2 time qualifier run through North America. It was Leviathan that made their story with funky picks like Pudge. They caught teams off guard. They were breaking in kills. They were surprising a lot of people. The next thing you know, they got now a good part of the community behind them. I mean, Zyori, you just never know. If you got a good Pudge player, you're not scrimming against Pudges. You're not practicing. When you were Hellraisers and you're going to DAC and all this stuff, how many games are you actually playing against the Pudge, you know?
Not many. That's for sure. I guess slightly more now in this stage of the game, given that it's actually being picked more frequently on this specific role, but no, you're right. It definitely pulls people out of their comfort zone. And Pudge is one of those kind of techies-like heroes where you really have to change the way you play when there's a Pudge in the game. Because if you're not paying close attention, if you're not constantly thinking about the angles, where could Pudge be, where am I relative to him, and is there a unit in the way? If you're not thinking that way, you'll be caught unaware a little more often than you'd like. Skywrath is a pretty good hero to deal with the Pudge in terms of if he gets hooked out, you hit him with a concussive, and Pudge shouldn't be able to chase you down for too long if you can make it away. Clockwork, got the cogs. Chen, at least he's got some stuns, presumably, and some of those jungle creeps he'll pick up where he can stop the Pudge from just chasing him down and eating him. We'll see. But the Storm Spirit now, the final choice for the Hellraisers. Some big mobile damage here. Probably their safe laner, and that'll open up the mid for the Shadow Fiend, though. Could be vice versa.
Yeah, either way, it works out well. I mean, they led into this draft not knowing what they're going to be going up against, so Shadow Fiend is just kind of a lane dominator and one of the latest, more trendy heroes. After seeing something like a sniper, after knowing you need gap closers, now you get a Storm Spirit to round things out. Hellraisers, I still feel, have the more cut and dry, clean cut, whatever you want to say, solid lineup, but 4 anchors, man, look at this crap. This is manly, spicy, big.
Whoa!
It's beautiful. Yeah, this is man. This is man right now.
This is insanity. So we've got the big boy Pudge in the front lines. We've got a sniper for the back lines, and then we got a bear. We got Ursa to round things out. I am shocked and surprised that this will be their final pick. Now, one thing about this draft ASC is I feel like it lacks a lot of control. Sure, you got the black hole. You've got to devour, but outside of that, you are lacking on the stuns, and that makes me a little nervous for heroes like Ursa, heroes like Sniper, that kind of want their targets locked down a little bit so they don't get just run down.
Yeah, I'm so perplexed. 4 anchors, with a pick like this, I mean, it's great you're on Dire's side. If you can finagle the opportunity, you can sneak in and get the Roche done. And I don't know. Hellraisers, I have to say, just make sure you don't get too comfortable. because you can really be caught off guard by the lineup that 4 anchors have thrown together while you have your hands full with an Ursa, the Fuzzy Wuzzy, and a Pudge. This Sniper you can't sleep on, and then you also can't sleep on this Enigma. They have a lot of potential to really creep and surprise you with their lineup. And as I said before, Hellraisers, it seems more straightforward, and I think they're going to, you know, kind of do things the good old-fashioned way to get the job done.
Yeah, both teams have fairly greedy lineups, honestly. I mean, I guess that's the nature of just having a dedicated jungler. There is a fair bit of greed involved, but Enigma can certainly farm faster than Chen in the jungle, and I'm really curious what the plan is with this Pudge. When he starts moving around, what the general strategy is in lane. Do they send support his way? Will he even be able to hold his own? I've only seen this, I think we saw it yesterday. No, I saw it not that long ago with Gods, and it worked okay in that particular game. But I'm still curious about this strategy in general. What is the longevity of the off-lane Pudge here, Dakota? Do you think this is a strat that's here to stay, or is this just the hot new gimmick right now that's the talk of the town?
I think it's pretty gimmicky. I mean, I think this is something where you want to surprise your opponents, and I don't know. He's got the survivability. They gave him plenty of regen. He's got the stout shield, 4 tangos, 1 salve. So it's pretty typical offlaner kind of get up. He's probably going to get hit pretty hard early. Skywrath Mage, you know, with his very low mana cost, high damage nuke, is just going to be spamming it to God knows when. And it's not like most of these targets are going to be real easy grabs either. I mean, the benefit of Pudge is that because they have Chen, who's going to be working in the jungle, he should be able to plant himself in the lane, find the easy XP, and that's pretty much all he cares about. With that recent buff to the hook, he only needs to get level 3 before he can really make plays happen. I don't know how long he wants to plant himself in this off lane before he adventures out. But the nice thing going for him also is he has Enigma there to kind of deny one of the creeps right off the bat, so I think this Pudge is actually going to have a fair start in the laning phase.
Alright, well, we'll see if your predictions come true, my friend. Radiant side, we've got the Hellraisers. It'll be Artez who takes the Storm Spirit to the safe lane here. Mad Dog, I'm not sure who that is. This is not ticketed, folks, so the names are derpy and ridiculous. Apologies. Ninja, he'll be on the Shadow Fiend here in the mid lane. Dread will take the Skywrath Mage. Moving around, supporting, and 1-1-1. I believe this is none other than Gorietz himself, the Clockwork here, slated for the top lane on the Radiant.
I'll try my best to remember those names, but as you said, without the ticket, the players, you know, they probably didn't expect that there's no ticket. Maybe we can convince them to change things up for the next game. But on the Dire side, we got 4 anchors in Captain. We got Samuli. Yeah. He's going to be playing your Fuzzy Wuzzy the Bear, as he's going to add a little bit extra harassment here to the Clockwork. He is your safe lane farmer with Boogie over there, who's going to be playing your support Dazzle. Nearby in the jungle, we got Valix, who's going to be playing your Enigma. Along the mid lane, we got Nymphy, your pesky little sniper. And finally, rounding it all out, we got the Pugna, or the Pudge, who's going to be playing your Kalu. I said Pugna, but the Pudge.
Yeah. Is that Trixie? I want to say that's Trixie, maybe. I'm not sure which one's Trixie. I think Kalu. His name is Kale, so I feel like it's a play on his name. Like, Kale, Kalu. I don't know. Maybe it's not.
Kale, Kalami, Kalu.
So Trixie in the off lane, we'll assume it's him for now, getting harassed by Dread as he's rotated his way down. Level 1 Arcane Bolt, one of the best zoning tools you can grab at this early stage, and with a Null Tally and a Clarity, there's just nothing the Pudge can do. Look at him, he's just getting poked back. Alright, the big boy eats his healing salve, but he's found that magical level 3 you were talking about, Dakota, and that's where the Meat Hook doubles in damage, gets a little bit of extra range to it, and ooh, here he gets a double damage rune. Yep. Here we go.
Look at Skywrath. Dread's like, I'm going to get this fruit. No, I'm not. I see a Pudge there. And he's one of those kind of off-lane. I mean, if this was a Tide Hunter, you know, some of your more typical... Oh, first hook is going to miss on bottom lane, by the way. But now they could catch him out. They see the hook goes down, and this is their opportunity to strike. So they lay in as much damage as possible. Had he gotten that hook, you really never know, because he has that double damage. I think he could have got the job done, but unfortunately, he's going to be 0-1 leading into this match.
Yeah, and they take that opportunity, as you mentioned, to keep poking him back. They've noticed that lack of regen. He is totally dry, so any licks they can get in now is damage that will stop this Pudge from doing a hell of a lot. Artez, whoa, it's a close-range hook, but Kalu, he tries to man up. That's not happening. It's a Storm Spirit that gets the first blood. Artez going to be crowned the winner of the first duel this game.
Not exactly taking them out of their comfort zone. Unfortunately, this is feeling pretty now more comfortable for Hellraisers in the safe lane, getting a pickup like that. Top lane, though, what's happening here? We got Clockwork getting a bit close, trying to bump them back with the cogs. Didn't really end up being too successful there. But when we compare off-laners, Clockwork now level 3. It was only scrapped together about 2 CS. Pudge 5 CS, and well, he's had his level 3. Relatively even as far as that goes, but with the first blood now being exchanged, Pudge is going to have a bit of a slower start. He just needs to get a little bit more time invested here before he can really adventure around. It feels like 4Anchors could be banking on a pretty good mid-game. At least that's what they're hoping for.
Yeah. Certainly so. Let's check in on this mid lane, see how things are faring. Alpha Ninja will take the Shadow Fiend, 20-12 right now against the 6-1 Nymphy. Oh my, it is a slaughter in the mid lane, Dakota. This Shadow Fiend is just running amok. He's got 22 souls. This poor sniper is hitting for kittens at only 60. Oh boy, this is the scary mid matchup for the sniper, where you don't want this Shadow Fiend getting too much momentum, and boy does he have it already.
Yeah, figured that Sniper was going to be the more lane-dominant hero, but hold that thought. As top lane, a haste inconvenience for Alpha Ninja. As they try to go into Clockwork, they're like, holy crap, we got to get the hell out of here. Salve's going to be immediately canceled. Boogie, uh-oh, get the Grave off. Does he even have the Grave? He does not. He goes down, thinking they can go more offensive.
Alpha Ninja, he wants to dive it. Uh-oh, Samuli, you're in some trouble. First raise connects, in comes Dread. He's the one that gets credited for the kill. Now a TP flying forward. Kalu, need to be a little bit careful here. Hook will be off the mark. Now Alpha Ninja looking for a reinitiation angle. Not going to find what he's looking for. Sees the Enigma with the army on his way in. Now turns onto the Pudge. Hits him with one more round of raises. Alpha Ninja getting a nice exchange. Of course, finding a couple of kills and doing some good damage on his retreat. Pudge, who just showed up at the tower, is already chewed through another set of tangos and still at about half health.
And unfortunate start for 4Anchors, as they are now forced to rotate the Pudge top, hoping that he was going to be able to salvage the opportunity to get themselves on the board, but it's not there. Hellraisers, very dominant start. They've already been doing very well across the board. Definitely mid lane in their favor, bottom lane as well. Top, not too bad. Clockwork hasn't really died, and they haven't really found any sort of aggression on the side of 4Anchors. Now with more kills under their belts, their domination continues to build up, so more pressure on the 4Anchors to pull back in the mid game, whether it's Fuzzy Wuzzy moving on in, getting the Roche taken care of, Enigma really setting his stride with maybe his first big black hole, or Pudge still trying to come into his own.
Now the Chen's been pretty quiet this game. Looks like he's got a Wild Wing Ripper, just clearing out a nice stack here. Doing it working smart, not working hard here in the jungle today. He's found his level 5, gets that third point in the Holy Persuasion, finds himself a slot for another unit, and we'll see what the Mad Dog does. He hasn't really moved around yet, still 0-0-0, may find himself a bounty rune, but you know, it's not all about ganking early on for Chen. Sometimes finding that fast level 6 is what you need. Pudge, he gets initiated on at the top rune, and that'll be an easy one.
He got that hook though, so there's always that.
Alpha Ninja just got a little taxi service there. Just pulled him closer to his friends and
to his XP.
There you go. Yeah, closer to the source. Alpha Ninja is just a madman here, Dakota. He is still got so much momentum.
34-15, handsome as ever. Just walking without a care in the world now as he heads towards the beautiful Blueberry DD rune. But he is slowed along the way. Aha! Dread, surprise from the pit.
Dude, he just chunks him. Oh, that poor Dazzle. He thought that he had him. He thought, oh, Shadow Fiend's slow, quick, Skywrath, get the rune, don't let him have it. And then Dazzle's life flashed before his eyes, and he died before he could even get off the shallow grave. Oh, boy.
Real rough. The struggle continues here for 4Anchors. Now as there's been a lot of movement across the map, Clockwork's been able to kind of move in. He went from like, what, 2 CS, now he's got 10 in 1 CS. He's 5.5 as far as levels go. His hook shot's getting that much closer to coming online. You look at the other side, Ursa just turned level 6. They need a kill. They need to get on the board. They're feeling it. They're feeling amped up. They want Clockwork. Here we go, baby. Malphus to start. Cogs, Black Hole, get over here, you son of a bitch. I'm going to get you. And they're waiting for him to pop out. Uh-oh. Samuli gets silenced. Oh, I get it. They commit a lot for it. But they finally get themselves their first kill.
Whew, alright, they get on the scoreboard, but it's costly. A TP in from the Skywrath Mage almost keeps him alive. If only they had a more defensive support, could have maybe turned things around. That's a Black Hole used. Secures a kill, so it is worth it just to get that initial kill up on the board, but well, that's time that HR can be a little more safe. Now down bottom, Artez, he jukes the hook, now goes zipping in. 2 TPs forced out. The Centaur pump fakes a War Stomp. Both TPs get canceled. That was like the most value use of Ball Lightning I've ever seen. 2 TPs that get thrown away.
Pretty much Pudge tried to go for a hook, it missed, and Artez is like, okay, that's my time to go. I have no problem jumping on this Pudge and taking him out. And the second he went in, which the hook is going to miss again, unfortunately, on bottom, they felt they had the advantage. Yeah, like you said, 2 TPs had to be forced out so that they wouldn't commit to the Pudge. And now they can add pressure onto the tower with the help of some creeps.
Alright, Gordiet's in some trouble. Gets Cogs on the high ground to try to lock out Fuzzy Wuzzy. Volix doing some good damage. Here comes the assassinate from the Sniperino, and that's dead Clockwork. But in the meanwhile, Alpha Ninja turns it around on the Sniper while he's lining up the scopes and securing the assassination kill. It will cost him everything and anything as the Shadow Fiend gets another one, now 3-0-1.
Artez is going straight for the Bloodstone. This is a guy who knows he's going to bring in some kills pretty damn fast. He hasn't really adventured out from this bottom lane quite yet. He's actually getting pretty close to level 9. Lots of time invested here. He's fermenting this sweet XP and level gain so that he can just unleash its potent fury across the map soon.
Yep. Mid lane, Sniper. Oh, thought Alpha Ninja was going to get a little more aggressive, just pushing him back. The tower's fallen, so that will be the first tower down. And now the mech on the way for Shadow Fiend, so having it at a very good timing here. Looks like he's just about halfway to the recipe or so with the buckler. Oh, actually a little more than that. He's already got the buckler complete. Alright, just a couple hundred gold, and Shadow Fiend's going to be ready to move around and continue on team fighting.
I guess what is almost considered the unconventional old build of going the mech on Shadow Fiend as opposed to the new stylish Yule's kind of get up. Aha! Yeah. Sniper! I come out from the woods. Oh, he misses the raise, but he takes the wave away.
Nemphy still hurting a little bit here. You look at his net worth, and oh my, more than a little bit. Both of the Radiant supports are above the mid-Sniper on net worth here as we pass the 10-minute mark. That is a very scary statistic. Alpha Ninja swags his way up towards the top lane, gets himself a bounty rune for the bottle. He will have the courier ferry out his fully completed mech. Pudge is smoked up behind him. Uh-oh, Pudge in hot pursuit. This is a 5-hero rotation here towards the top lane, Dakota. Can 4ASC actually take the fight they're looking for without Black Hole? That's a hook onto the Clockwork. Godiet's alive for now. There is... Okay, I don't know what happened. Oh, got interrupted by the battery assault. There we go. Alpha Ninja now on the high ground. Going in with Dread. They're going on to the Fuzzy Wuzzy. They can't quite find the kill. And that last Arcane Bolt's not going to be enough. The Chen gets a double off to the backside. I'm watching the wrong half of this fight. Volix now, the target of choice. Is Storm coming in for the cleanup? He is. Ursa goes down first. Boogie and Volix. There's still a shallow grave, but Boogie may be forced to use it on himself. Volix will be the lucky one to get the grave and not going to be able to TP out. Cogs come in, well placed from Gordietz. That'll push him aside. Boogie cuts his losses and TPs out. It's still a 4-0 as the Mad Dog gets on the board. All of a sudden, this Chen is 3-0-0.
Just very nicely executed there from Hellraisers. They make their swarm towards the top. Cheeky plays trying to come out from 4 anchors. Good hook setup from behind, but they were just about 10 to 15 seconds too early before Black Hole was going to be good to go. But even then, they had 2 different fights breaking out, neither which they could really win. So with that, they lose a lot of casualties. Artez makes his debut away from the bottom lane and shows how farmed he actually is, and really there's no chance for 4 anchors at that point. It's a domination already at the start for Hellraisers, as most have expected. 4 anchors, they need to dig deep to get themselves back into this game.
Yeah, they really do. This deficit is quickly becoming insurmountable. We're nearly at the 1,000 gold per minute lead mark here in terms of difference in team net worth. It's about 11,000-ish, maybe about 12. Experience around 7,000 here in favor of the Hellraisers, the masters of the human resources. So far, this offlane Pudge hasn't done a hell of a lot here, Dakota. 0-3-0. Hook percentage not feeling so hot right now. Brown boots and a stout shield. It's a tough game for the Pudge. Even Clockwork is just a tough hero to deal with in general. We saw in that last fight, he hooked the Clockwork, tried to eat him, but Battery Assault was right there to interrupt that channel.
It's hard. It's a hard game for 4 anchors. They just have no way to really initiate and jump in there, not unless Enigma gets a Blink Dagger, not unless Ursa gets a Blink Dagger, or they land a hook, which unfortunately has not been going for him too well. So it's Hellraisers who can kind of set the tempo of the game. They have all the initiation they could ask for with Clockwork, with Storm Spirit. They do what they want. Oh, 4 anchors. You got Ursa. You think you're going to get Roche at a fair time? Well, we already have the farm to get it done. Hellraisers move on to the pit and get things started. 4 anchors are looking to converge. Do they have a way to stop them from doing it, though?
Four anchors, you forgot one thing. The Hellraisers have Mad Dog on the Chen. He's got a couple of dogs in his army, and they're just going to use him to tank up the Roche pit here. Oh, hooks out one of his friends. The Centaur gets taken out by the Pudge, but Roche falls to the wrath of Hellraisers. Storm Spirit, the one to grab the Aegis, and just like that, the anchors opt to disengage.
And I guess they raise their anchor and sail away.
Oh, they raise their sails to the wind. There you go.
Their boats are sinking.
Captain Jack Sparrow and shit.
Yep. Get to the lifeboats. Uh-oh. Artez jumps on forward. Yeah, Boogie's in trouble. Grave now, boy. Okay. Nope. He's dead. Hook, unfortunately, is going to be a swing and a miss. And with that now, they are going to open up on more objective gaming here. Tier 2 is now under pressure with Chen Army looking to soak up from the front. But that shrapnel is going to be voided now as the mech's going to be popped. So...
Well, what are those little donut-looking things they have on boats that you throw to people when they're drowning?
Lifesavers.
Lifesavers? Right? Is that really what they're called? I thought that was the candy. Or is that what the candy's named
That is
after?
the candy, but I think they're... Yeah, they're lifesavers.
That's such a lame name for something that could have a really cool name.
Life preservative, I think is like a technical term, but that's like a life vest.
Preservative?
I don't know. It's a lifesaver, right?
It is a lifesaver. It could literally save your life. All right. All right, well, somebody's going to need to throw Fuzzy Wuzzy a lifesaver. Up top, Artez going in for the deep initiation. He dumps his whole mana pool right away, and now he's got very little left to work with. Trying to bide his time, decide how he wants to go about this. Hits him with an overload.
Oh, man.
Now goes in. The zip forward brings him down. There's a fight breaking out in the bottom, though, while this whole thing's going on, Dakota. Pudge commits suicide. Chen's already gone down. He gets the kill on Ursa up top, and now Volix thinking about a black hole. He's out of mana. Assassinate, not enough to bring down Dread, and looks like that'll be the end of it. A 1-for-1 down in the bottom, making it a 1-for-2 total if you count that kill up top.
When they saw that engagement top lane and they knew Pudge was out of the picture on bottom, that was the real initiator. They just stampeded on forward, took a couple of lives with them, so it ends up being a 2-for-1 trade. Still not the best here for Four Anchors. 13-3. Hellraisers over 10k net worth lead. It's looking pretty grim.
It really is. It's been feeling a little grim for a while, but things are very rapidly approaching that point of, you might just want to think about moving into that next game and try your luck there. Artez, he finds Nymphy in the jungle. Not much a sniper can do against the elusive Storm Spirit. Hook, almost brings the sniper back, but doesn't disjoint that last auto attack. Kalu, hungry for vengeance. Can he avenge his fallen comrade?
Is his eyes too big for his stomach, though?
Or his hook. Oh! Okay.
That was close. The breeze was there, right behind him. Yeah, that was close. But Artez not faltering one bit. Waits it out for now. Does he have his Bloodstone? He does. 10 charges already. Put together some charges, and he wants more. He wants bloodshed. Four Anchors looking to be on the defensive here. What's Ursa got going here? Phase Boots and a Bracer. He's probably still trying to save up and get the Blink Dagger. And hoping for solo picks. But at this point, Hellraisers aren't really moving on their own. They do have Afro Ninja scouting out farming, taking away that potential farm in the jungle. Chen Split pushing the top lane. But other than that, there is no easy picks here. No easy picks.
No, definitely not. We'll see what the Four Anchors can do. I'm trying to think of any way they can try to claw their way back into this game. I think some of it is getting some momentum on this Ursa for sure. The fact that their Roche has already been taken out really hurts. That would have been my #1 suggestion. Well, let's secure yourself a Roche. That's a good way to get yourself back in the game, get your Fuzzy Wuzzy a second life, but here you go, smoking the mid. These are the kind of plays they'll need to do to try and get back into this. But I think this is a pretty risky play here, Dakota, with a high chance of backfire.
This is almost an all or nothing. If this ends in disaster, this could be the good game. Oh, they get the hook onto Artez. There's the bite. Malphus. Severe lockdown, but with the hook shot allows him to set on free. Power himself out. Gets the kill, wiping out Dazzle. Nephi looks to be next. He goes down thereafter. It's a 2-for-1 trade thus far. Valak's going toe-to-toe there with Gorietz. He's going to lose that cage match. And now it's Kalu, one of the lone survivors, side by side with Ursa as they both desperately try to make it back home. Please, please have mercy. Oh, for the Lord of everything. Artez is not going to let him get it in too easy. Oh, uphill miss. Look back. They save him. No, the Rocket's there. It's a 5-man destruction. They only lose Dread. The good game is there, and we are done here, Zyori.
GG. Yeah, that was a one-sided one. 17 minutes, 19-4. There's only so much post-game to analyze here, Dakota. The Hellraisers making quick work of the Four Anchors and their sea captain.
Yeah, I'm curious if Four Anchors had applauded the idea of putting together that kind of Pudge, Ursa, funky kind of a lineup, or if they were drafted into a corner where they were forced to do something like that. It seemed like a okay opener, you know, with getting the sniper after the Shadow Fiend. I've heard numerous pro players say that Shadow Fiend should have the upper hand in a one-on-one mid lane matchup, but that wasn't the case here. Maybe more credit to Afo Ninja on being a very solid stand-up mid lane player, but unfortunately, it just never came together for 4 anchors. Hellraisers, they look just as dominant as ever.
Yeah, there's definitely a degree of snowballing that happens in that mid lane in the Sniper versus Shadow Fiend matchup. And if he gets a couple of those first hits, start getting that damage a little higher than the Sniper, then, well, we can see that happen where Nymphy just couldn't catch up after he fell behind. So, all right, without any further ado, folks, we're going to have our first break. Then coming up after this, game number 2 of HR versus 4ASC. This is the European pre-qualifier, the first phase for the Summit 3, and this is just a single elim bracket, so whoever loses this series be the first team officially eliminated from the Summit 3. Wow, we're knocking them down nice and early this go-around, Dakota.
Hey, you got to break hearts. I'm sorry, but, you know, we got to find out which 2 teams are going to be moving on to phase 2, and that's what counts, and or no, not going to give them a whole lot of opportunities. This is your one chance. You better do it right.
Yeah, absolutely. So stick around, folks. More Dota 2 coming your way after this short break.